Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Whether you're tuning in on the radio dial here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM, we welcome you all back to our show, as well as tuning in through our online affiliates around the world. We're glad to have all of you with us as well. As we've been going out throughout this year, we've been trying to not only to motivate you all to each and every day to be able to bring your own personal best to the game, but also to realize the importance of looking forward to what you can accomplish in your life as well. Our next guest is definitely all about that. We're excited to welcome Rasheed Bey to our program. You know him not only as a model and fitness trainer, but also as an individual who's been able to motivate people, especially through the platform of social media. We'll talk to him about that, what it's been like for him to do work that he loves, but also to see how other people are being able to motivate as well. He has a brand new calendar that we're going to tell you all how you can get through our friends at Amazon.com and let you all know how you can stay connected with him. But Rasheed, hello to you and welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, glad to do it. We're going to tell our audience at the end of the segment how they can be able to stay connected and get the calendar. But I want to talk about the reflection, first of all, Rasheed, because I noticed when I was prepping for this segment, especially through your Instagram, I mean, you've been able to not only to show people your own personal progress, but also to be able to inspire people along the way. I mean, what has it been like for you to kind of reflect on this year and the things you've been able to accomplish?
Not even this past year, I would even say just these past couple of months, doors have really started to open. And I think it honestly starts with yourself and being comfortable in your own skin. There's plenty of people who want to get into modeling or fitness modeling or even fitness competing and using social media and other outlets to do so. But I feel like at the end of the day, even if you're trying to do that, a lot of times people still hold themselves back from fear of being judged, so to speak, even though they're trying to get into a world to where they can use their looks to get ahead. And that's not only a good thing, it's a positive thing in more ways than one. And the minute I kind of started to see that I had something special, the minute I kind of just started, being more and more comfortable with myself, the more people started taking to it.
Right. So let's go back to that then. I mean, Rasheed, because you bring up a really good point. There's so many people, especially in the world we live in today, where there's so many comparisons that are made. I mean, when did you get to a place where you were comfortable with being just who Rasheed Bey was?
To be honest, I think I'm still working on that. And I think that's going to be a reflection for everybody. And I feel as though I would say as a whole, this year itself has probably been the most comfortable I've been in my own skin and just in myself in general. But I feel like that's something like you should always be working on. It's very rare because you figure even from the moment, even if you're the popular kid in high school, you always want to fit in. You always want to be in the in crowd. And when you're younger, you kind of find yourself in a place to where you want to be yourself, but you want to fit in more. But the older you get, the more you realize, okay, I'm okay being this way or I'm okay being that way. So you try to tend to go less and less toward what other people are doing and more toward the what is best for yourself. And I think that just comes with time and experience.
Gotcha. So as building your tribe or your followers, especially through Instagram, let's say, has that kind of put more of an onus on you to practice what you preach on there? Because one of the things that you are very consistent about saying is about being yourself, kind of what you said here about being comfortable with your skin. Does that kind of motivate you to do the same thing you're sharing with other people to do?
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, like my motto on a lot of my posts is, do you F the rest. And I say that because you get one life to live. At the end of the day, no one's going to be happy but yourself with yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror, and regardless of what you do, it may not be okay for somebody else, but as long as you can live with yourself and you're happy with what you see that's staring back at you, that's all that should matter.
Yeah, I think that is so true. So, I think, when we look at social media, I mean, it has become such a part of our lives. Rasheed, I mean, when did you first start realizing that you could not only, of course, build your audience there, build that platform, but also be able to connect with like-minded individuals, especially through fitness and motivation there?
The past few months, I just did a fitness competition this past September, and I've been using my social media For a couple of years now, and I feel like these past couple of months, like I was stating in the course of this prep, this was probably the best that I felt that I've ever looked physically. So it started making me believe in myself a little more that way. So when I started trying to post more pictures throughout my prep, as we call it, getting ready for the competition, I started seeing more and more people liking them. And of course, they were a little more erotic and risque, so to speak, but also very tasteful and motivational. Like every post that I have is for a reason. I never try to post anything just to be thirst trapping, as we like to call it, basically meaning just for attention purposes. That's part of it, right? Because in this industry as a whole, sex sells, but you have to be able to try to find a balance and not only give people something to look at to stimulate them visually, but mentally. And I always try to be myself. I never, ever, ever try to post something just for likes, and even just responding to people on my post. I get people all the time that say they follow me, not only because they like what I post or the message I bring, but also because they like that I actually respond to the people that are commenting. And that goes for men and women alike. And I try to do that no matter if I have 5,000 followers or 500. I mean, it's a lot harder to do with the more followers you get, but I would always like to try to respond as best I can to people who are taking the time to like what they see and feel free to comment on my pictures and my page.
Right. And as you said, there is a method to the madness because, as you said, even though they might be drawn in by the image, there is a message. And I can tell even when I was prepping for this, Rasheed, that people actually do read what you say because they comment on some of the things that you say. I mean, for you, motivation. There are a lot of people, and I've talked to quite a few on this program over the years, who tell me, okay, even though they might be in the public, they don't necessarily feel it's their responsibility to be an example. They don't think it's their responsibility to be a model. How do you come down on that? Do you think because you're in the public that just is part of it, that you are an example, or is that something you embrace?
It's something I try to fully embrace because I've always looked at it as, I tell everybody at the end of the day, I always tell everyone I'm never not trying to necessarily be the richest man in the world or the most known man in the world, but if that happens, I will gladly take it. But I look at it from your entertainers, from athletes, down to actors or musicians or even models. If you are one of the few lucky people on God's green earth to where people are looking at you, and I am a man of God, so I don't want to say idolizing, so to speak, but if they're looking at you in the form of they are impressed, whether it be physically, mentally, or both, then you should have the common decency to respect those people who are kind of in some way, shape, or form making you who you are. Because at the end of the day, it's because of these people and what they see, what they post, what they retweet, what they like, if they ask you for an autograph, they're making you who you are. They're making you relevant. Because the minute you still may be getting paid, you still may be making money, which is good. But as far as being quote unquote known or in the public eye, the minute these people stop believing in your brand or who you are or stop caring, you're no longer relevant. So if I would take full advantage of that and always be real while you have that platform, and always be very conscious of it.
Gotcha. It's a great reminder for all of us. For those who are just tuning in on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Rasheed Bey to our program today. Rasheed is not only a model and fitness trainer, but also a motivational speaker, and individual who's been able to use his public platform to be able to not only inspire people, but to show them what's possible as well. Now, you've kind of added on to that brand, as you've mentioned this year, Rasheed. Now you've gone into actually having a product that people can actually go. In fact, when I was on your Instagram page, I noticed the link is there in your bio there on Instagram. Was it just a natural progression for you that you would have something like a calendar for your fans to be able to buy?
Absolutely. It's something that I have wanted to try for some time. It just kind of decided to, and it just kind of made sense. Instagram as a whole, I love it because you can be yourself and it's pure imagery. It's not like Facebook or Twitter, to where like Twitter, you can have pictures, but tweets are more so words. Facebook is more so, family related and just BS and drama and basically anything over the sun. Instagram is visual as well as emotional, and you can just be you. So to me, it just kind of made sense because I like the idea of expressing myself through picture. And I said, you know what? People are starting to like what they see. Let me put something together to see if people will actually take to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's called there. I notice on Amazon, it's Raw Visuals Edition. I mean, when people go to Amazon and get the calendar there, Rasheed, what is it that they can expect to have there?
Just images of myself in my raw, pure form. That's why it's called Raw Visuals. A couple of the editions are some of the types of pics I put on my Instagram, with some exclusively, specifically for this calendar that are still kind of risque, but like I said, always tasteful, but something that wasn't necessarily that I wanted to put on Instagram, because you also want to try to give people something that they can't always see on my page. And that's what I kind of wanted to do, is mix the two to give them something that they're familiar with, but also something that was almost like a reward for, purchasing the calendar itself.
Right, for sure. Well, and I think, this brings up another point, and I think that is, the importance of treating yourself like a business. I mean, talk to us about that, because I think even that in itself is something that as people, as they're getting ready to go into the new year, Rasheed, they maybe think about ideas they have for themselves. I mean, what is it like for you as an entrepreneur to be able to not only to be your own best spokesperson, but also to be the subject of your own product?
At the end of the day, if you don't believe in you, who will? And especially to say it, but a vanity business like modeling or fitness. And we all come a dime a dozen. So you have to try to find ways to set yourself apart, not only physically, but even your personality. Your personality can speak volumes, which is another reason why I try to make sure I can talk to my audience. I respond to people, because there may be another guy who's just as fit as I am, looks better, more tattoos, less, whatever the case may be. But, he treats his people like crap, that, they're just likes, and they don't, okay, I got 50,000 likes on this picture. Everyone loves me. They're commenting, but I'm not going to respond. You can go to a fitness convention and you might have a line to where, somebody may wait 3 hours to take a picture with you, and they barely look like they even want to take the photo. So to me, your personality itself can get you a lot further than your physical attributes. That's what you use to get you in the door. But I feel like your personality is going to go a lot longer way. Like you see people in acting, like you may have an actor who may be, Denzel quality, but the more that you hear them like, oh, they're hard to work with, eventually the doors are going to shut.
Right. Right, for sure, and I think that's so true. You said something earlier, too, I want to go as we wrap up here, Rasheed, because I think it's a really good point for our audience to keep in mind, regardless of what their profession, that their ambition might be, and that really, self-improvement is something we have to do daily. On November 21st on Instagram, you posted a picture for what at that time was Transformation Tuesday, and you said this about yourself: a transformation can be big or small, major or minor, physical or mental, or both at once. This one is about me changing not only my physique to the next level, but my mind, and being okay with who I am and confident with myself to showcase myself to the world the way I see fit. And you ended it by saying, don't be timid. What advice would you give to our audience, Rasheed, as they're looking forward to, maybe they didn't achieve the things they wanted to achieve this year. Maybe they didn't achieve the things today they wanted to. Why would you tell them not to be timid when it comes to pursuing their goals and dreams?
Because you can't be timid in life. You get one life to live. And your time may not come when you're 22 or when you're 28. It may come later on in life, but you can't stop. You have to keep plugging away, because you could be that much closer to your goals and you may not know it. And whether it be a body transformation, whether it be financial, emotional, at the end of the day, we're going to have good days, we're going to have bad days. And I constantly struggle with myself, but I have to keep reminding myself that I'm one step closer today than I was yesterday. And the physical side of it, that comes as well. Because even though, to be honest, I feel like a lot of the people that comment on my pictures, that makes me feel that much better. It's not necessarily to showcase myself to get attention from these people to show off. It's more so they are helping me in some ways than I feel that I am helping them. Because what they see, if I'm having a bad day, because you're always your own worst critic. And especially in this business, because you can always nitpick apart something that you have to work on or to make better or to bring up. But if someone can actually see my hard work and like, man, you look like a god, or man, you look amazing, or man, I see how far you've come, that just kind of reiterates to the hard work that I put in and makes me know that, you know what, okay, I may not necessarily see it today, but these other people do, and that makes me feel good. So I got to keep moving forward.
Yeah. I ask this question quite a bit, and if there is kind of a scripted question, this would be one of them. Rasheed, do you see yourself, as you kind of reflect on, as you mentioned, not just this year, but these past few months, do you see yourself as your biggest competition?
Absolutely. And if you don't, something's wrong with you. And if you don't as well, then you probably have just become stagnant. Because if you don't see yourself as your biggest competition, how can you keep moving forward?
Yeah. I think that's it. That's a great reminder for all of us. Again, everyone, Rasheed Bey has been our guest. Great conversation with you, Rasheed. We've been talking with him not only about his journey as a model, fitness trainer, but also as a motivator through people. He's been using the platform of Instagram to be able to showcase not only, of course, his own progress, but also his powerful messages as well. He's also been using that platform to tell you all about his new calendar that's available. So, Rasheed, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you and kind of keep up with what's coming up for you?
Absolutely. My Instagram is Son of Prime, SONOFPRIME, on Instagram, as well as the visual calendar itself is available on Amazon.com. It's called Prime Time, visual images of Rasheed Bey. The calendar is $4.99, very affordable, and I promise everybody you will not be disappointed. And I've just got a lot of things in the pipeline, and I'm very excited for the things to come.
All right, so make sure you all are staying connected with him there, as you heard him say, Son of Prime there. Congratulations to you again, Rasheed. Thank you for the time, and looking forward to speaking with you again, man.
Likewise. I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much.
Glad to do it. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Rasheed, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media site. So head over to Facebook.com/Cyrus Webb or go to Twitter.com/Cyrus Webb. You can click on the link there. You can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. You all make it a great one.